LA. When you need me, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you when you need me.
President Trump says he is suing the New York Times for $15 billion.
$15 billion?
Of defamation and libel.
That's a lot of money,
He
dog.
announced the move on social media, writing in part, "The Times has engaged in a decades-long method of lying about your favorite president, me, my family, business, the America First movement, MAGA, and our nation as a whole." This comes almost a week after Trump threatened legal action against the paper over a report alleging he had sent a sexually suggestive note to Jeffrey Epstein for his birthday in 2003. The president is also suing Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion after the Journal similarly reported Trump had signed a crude birthday card for Epstein.
Let's bring around the coast for our fourth hour, staff writer of The Atlantic, Jonathan Lemire. Jonathan, we were last night, we were at IRE, the 50th anniversary celebration of investigative reporters and editors. And it was really an inspiring thing. But we heard time and time again, including from AG, that the playbook for this administration is to first of all, constantly harass and lie about the media, create your own set of realities.
That's a lot, man. The media
and then
putting out false information,
civil lawsuits to try to drain them of their resources. And here we go.
And here we go. The event was certainly inspiring about the need to do our jobs as journalists, clear-eyed, with no fear or favor, to tell it like we see it. And we did hear from a number of speakers last night talking about how the free press is under assault, how this administration in particular, we've seen trends around the world, but we're now seeing it here at home, as you say, is trying to intimidate and pressure with the power of the federal government and the power of litigation. And AG last night flat out said, without naming this by specifically, said, we will defend our journalism, we will defend our reporters, we have the resources to do it. And that is true, is that a company like the New York Times, like the Wall Street Journal, can stand up to something like this, because this is going to be a lengthy process, there's going to be legal fees, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be grueling. Now, it works the other way, too. The president, we assume, and people around him would have to submit to discovery. Like, that could be embarrassing. We'll see how far this actually goes down the line. But at the very least, this is the playbook. You make it very challenging. You intimidate. You try to make media organizations think twice about doing the kind of work that's so important.
Well, and we've seen this. And Willie, we saw it with, he sued Ann Seltzer because he didn't like her disastrously wrong Iowa poll, right? You're suing a pollster now and suing CBS for an edit, something that news organizations have been doing as long as there have been news organizations. And he was fortunate in that case that he actually had somebody that was willing to play ball because they wanted a deal to go through. But now Rupert Murdoch, suing Rupert Murdoch for publishing documents that they had in the Epstein situation, and now suing the New York Times once again, talking about Epstein. I mean, it's, these cases are, I think, most likely going to be thrown out. But, of course, at what cost? I mean, and I think here it really comes down to, this is where the courts need to stop being too clever by half, and they need to do their job. And they need to, again, they need to do their job, interpret the law the way it's been interpreted, and say the First Amendment's the First Amendment. Stop doing these bogus lawsuits because you don't like what somebody's writing about you.
The president said last night he's bringing this lawsuit in the state of Florida, perhaps hoping to get a friendlier audience, I guess, by having it down there. But you're right, this does raise all the questions again about why he's suing. It's Epstein. Is there going to be some discovery? Are they going to have to provide documents? And does he really want to go down that road, or is he just making this a tactic of intimidation and to chill speech in newsrooms about what they cover and what they write? But David French, here we are again at the First Amendment, this time talking about newspapers, not just the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and a whole host of them that have been reporting on Donald Trump around the Epstein case. The president mentioned the endorsement by the Times last fall of Kamala Harris somehow as illegal, or at least worthy of a lawsuit. But also more recently now, what this is going to get into is the Jeffrey Epstein story, where his name is all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just get one thing clear. An endorsement of a political candidate is about as core of First Amendment protected activity as you're going to find in American law. Look, the pattern here is really, really clear. The pattern here is to use lawsuits and leverage government power to target political opponents. And this is happening before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You're seeing it happening after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is a man, Donald Trump, and a movement that is increasingly hostile to free speech, that is increasingly hostile to other civil liberties, including most notably due process. So it is absolutely clear what is happening here is you're seeing an organized campaign, including the use of lawsuits, including the use of government power, to try to suppress free speech and to try to, even if these lawsuits don't succeed, to try to intimidate people into silence.
New York Times opinion columnist David French, thank you very much. His latest piece is available to read online right now.
In my opinion, these news stations, they've been putting out false information about Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've been putting out stuff to discredit his name, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing it intentionally. They ain't had that same smoke for Biden, you know what I'm saying? They ain't had that same smoke for President Obama when he was messing up and stuff. They slab, bro. All because they're Democratic, you know what I'm saying? They're liberal, really. With certain news broadcast stations or whatever. But I think he's gonna win the case, bro. But we're gonna see, dog. Let's check it out as it continues. But leave your comment and like and subscribe, dog. And with your thoughts and opinions on the situation. But I'm out, though. Peace.